Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH_sports. Follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance. A few things. I'm probably going to be doing a live stream on Friday or Saturday night, and I'll give the details in the coming days. It should be with Splenda Sports Instagram page. Comments a lot on my live stream, so it's good to have someone that actually watches my stuff, and then we could just talk about the things going on. And I'm gonna get on some other people that have supported me and just get a different view. Okay, so today I wanted to touch base on a few videos that I've seen. One was today by Sports Cards Anonymous, and before there was a video with Ziggy, and it's regarding sports cards and influencers. I know a lot of people have different opinions, and that's fine. You are free to think whatever you want. So just my opinion first, and then I'm going to talk about other people and sponsorships. So for me, sponsorships, I'm not talking about AdSense. I'm not talking about the advertisements on Google. I'm talking about an actual company that I represent and I'm the spokesman of. And especially for a company in this industry, I'm talking about in the baseball card hobby. I'm not talking about other companies, okay? For me, it doesn't make sense for me to be a spokesman of a company, and I understand that a lot of companies would not want to have me as a spokesman if my channel gets bigger in the coming years. And the reason is, in my opinion, since I speak my mind and since I ruffle a lot of feathers, I believe that I will be forced to keep quiet on some of those views. And in my opinion, that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about me speaking my own mind and me being able to have a frank discussion. And I don't care if it ruffles feathers, right? The point is to get on some topics or talk about issues that some other channels will not talk about for obvious reasons. And how I look at it is I look at Joe Rogan, right? Joe Rogan used to get people of all different opinions, and he still does, but not to the extent that he used to. When he was on YouTube and he had his own podcast, I think on Apple, he used to bring on guests of all kinds. On one end, you would have a person from this side of the aisle, and then you'd have a person from that side of the aisle. And once he signed the deal with Spotify, they forced him to delete episodes. And they wouldn't have all the episodes on Spotify. There was this comedian, Owen Benjamin, that I talk about. His views, some people may deem as controversial. Well, his episode was not allowed. Another guy, Stefan Molyneux, his episode was deleted, and many others, right? Whether or not you agree with Joe Rogan or his guests, that's not the issue. What I'm trying to get at is when you become more commercialized, or when you are hired by a big company like Spotify, you are forced to censor yourself. And it may not be the CEO that wants to do it. It may be the employees, or it may be the other advertisers that pay Spotify. And so Joe Rogan cannot bring some of the guests on, and he has to keep quiet on some of his beliefs. And that's what I think would happen to a certain degree if a company were to hire me as a spokesman in the card hobby. I'm not against sponsorships in general if they're outside of the hobby, but I still doubt that they'd reach out to me. But more likely than not, if a company came to me saying that, hey, I want you to market your product, I would be like, probably not. And the reason is I would have to keep quiet. And a lot of people are connected in this card community, you could say in quotes. Secondly, now other people and sponsorships. So the way that I look at it is, if person X gets sponsored by a company, is it going to change the way they objectively view or make their videos? And if it makes them produce videos in a much different light, then yeah, I could see why people have issues with that. Now, I've seen people get sponsors, and I don't see too much of a difference in their content. So I don't have a problem if some of these guys have sponsorships. And the reason is it making them keep quiet on some issues? And then some people would be like, oh, they're not covering the same topics like you. Like, I talk about Fanatics, I talk about the hanky panky. And I was thinking about it. Some reasons why other channels may not delve into the same topics as me, some of them may not agree with me. Or two, if you upset the wrong person in the hobby, right, it could hurt potential deals for you in the future. It could just limit yourself in moving up the food chain in the hobby. And I've had people message me saying that, hey, man, I like your work, but I can't talk about some of the things you talk about because it's just going to hurt some of the deals that I make with people. And I completely understand that. So I have nothing against that. What I have a problem with is people getting kickbacks and not disclosing that they're getting paid off to either pump up a product, or how should I say it, or they have an affiliation that would show a conflict of interest. If you say that, hey, this video is sponsored by company XYZ, okay, fine. We know that you're sponsored by them, okay? I have nothing against it. It's just that the non-disclosures. And I was talking to Coach Co about this, and he even talked about this in, not Coach Co, I think it's Cartel, Sports Card Cartel. He was talking about how he was told a very big influencer may have an affiliation with Fanatics. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I could reference you to the video if you're interested in trying to figure out who he's talking about. But yeah, that's what I have a problem with. And you see this a lot in the financial industry. Not in financial industry. I saw this a lot in the gold, silver days. A lot of hanky panky going on when I used to follow that. And it's just not good if you're not disclosing who's paying you to basically pump a product up. And a few other things I wanted to get into about this is, if you are having a sponsor, that's fine. Just try not to lose as much objectivity, because people can see right through that. Last thing I wanted to note is Ziggy did a video on this, and Ziggy said that, hey, these guys are related to PWCC, and we should be calling them out, and we should be boycotting PWCC. This is what Ziggy said, right? I like Ziggy, right? And here's my thoughts on this. Yeah, PWCC was in the news a few years ago, and also last year they were kicked off of eBay because of shill bidding accusations. And my thoughts on PWCC is I have used them I did use them when they were on eBay. I haven't used them since. I had a decent experience with PWCC. Now, that being said, some people will be like, look, if you're sponsoring people like that, you should try to look into their character. So here's the thing. PWCC advertises on YouTube, and they advertise a lot, I believe, on sports card related content. I mean, I check the phone out and then you see, oh, PWCC ad. I didn't know they advertised on YouTube. So they worked something out with AdSense. And regardless of whether or not you monetize your video, if you talk about sports cards, there's more than a likely chance that if someone's watching your video, PWCC may show up in the ads. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, it doesn't matter. We're all on YouTube, and PWCC's on YouTube. This is what I would tell Ziggy. I'm like, look, I like your videos, man, but here's where I disagree. I disagree when you go after people that are sponsored by PWCC, because in technicality, a lot of us who have AdSense, right, are technically indirectly sponsored by companies like PWCC. So that's why I'm not, going hard after them, because I realize this is how a lot of people are getting paid off of AdSense. So I'm just keeping that in mind. I'm trying to be as objective as possible. But for instance, if PWCC came to me to be their spokesman, I would decline that. Okay. And if most other companies came to me, I would decline that. So those are my thoughts. I know some people may disagree with me on that. There's this one company, CSG. I really like their slabs. Now, I wouldn't be their spokesman if they came to me, because, once again, if there's hanky-panky going on with CSG, I want to do a video on that. And if I were their spokesman, then my hands would be tied behind my back. And I think the same thing is with other content creators. If they are sponsored by company XYZ and there's hanky-panky going on, you can't really talk about it. Or you have to be careful in how you talk about it. With me, I just say whatever I want, and if I tick people off, I tick people off. It is what it is, guys. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.